everyone, welcome back to our channel. It's Gemma here today with part 2 of my houseboat speed build. So I'd got up to starting the interior design and putting the furniture in the last part. I will leave a link below where you can watch that if you would like to and you haven't seen it already. So here I am just putting in a little mat for outside the shower and then moved up to the bedroom. I had real problems with this bedside table. Even though I've got move objects on, I just couldn't seem to put it in the position I wanted to. It sort of kept snapping back to one of the squares. So unfortunately I couldn't use that one. I really wanted to, as it sort of looked like a fishing net that you'd catch crabs and things in. So I thought that would work well for the houseboat, but unfortunately I couldn't use it. So I went for some nice wooden ones instead. You'll notice all the furniture is matching because I do have to match absolutely everything when I'm doing builds. I was quite pleased with how the bedroom turned out. It's quite minimalistic, I suppose, as there wasn't really a lot of room for everything. But I liked the colour scheme of sort of the peach with the white and then the sort of the blue of the outside. It ties in with that as well. Then I moved on to this balcony. I was really, really pleased with how this came out. I think it looks like a lovely little place to sit. I'm not sure where these like canopy pieces are from, but I thought they worked really well for on a houseboat. I suppose they're for a shop or something, but I think they work nicely here. And of course they're blue and white to match everything else. Then I put a couple of recliners in so you can relax and look at the ocean. Did think about putting a parasol in, but it took too much space up, and you have got the other canopy above the doorway, so I don't think it's really needed. And I wanted to put some lights out here in case you wanted to sit outside in the evening, and out the front as well if you're driving the boat at night. Had a bit of trouble placing these on the fence, so I went for these wall lights instead, which I think look quite nice. Not quite sure what that is I'm looking at there. Then copied those and put those round the front. I don't think I've actually placed that, yeah, I realised then that I hadn't placed that on the wall. One of the perils of using the move objects on cheap. Then I recoloured the chairs. I went for a light wood and then this really nice beachy pattern. I think this is one of my favourite textures in the game. I think this works well for sort of an island location. Then I thought I'd use these plants as a bit of screening in case there are other houseboats pulled up beside you. It'll give you a little bit of privacy. I think they add a nice little bit of foliage as well, because it is quite a sort of a harsh white box otherwise. I was trying to fit these little ones on, but wasn't too happy with those. Went for that nice pink plant as well to add in another colour, and I decided to put an extra set of pots either side just so it fully covers the balcony. This was my first time ever using the move objects on sheet, and it does take a bit of getting used to. I find the windows glitch out when you use that, and you have to go around and sort of pick them up and put them back down to get them to be see-through again, which is a bit irritating. And there was quite a lot of things you might have noticed as you've been watching that I thought I've placed on a wall, and then I went round to do the screenshots and realised I hadn't actually placed it on the wall. But I do go and correct those eventually, so they're all right for the download. If you do want to download it from the Sims 3 store, you can do, and I'll also put that link down below for you. Put some more foliage on the front just to soften it. I really like these. I think, are they ammonite? Is that what they're called? Like fossil things. I think they look quite nice, but because I love symmetry, I had to put two either side of the door so it matches. And again with these sort of sun pieces of wall art. I came back to the bedroom because I did think it was looking a little bit stark. So I put this shelf in and match it up to the other wood textures in the room. but it does bother me slightly. It's not in the centre of the room, but I couldn't place it there because of the windows, and I wasn't going to move those. Tried this picture, but again, because it wasn't in the middle, I couldn't really cope with that, so I do put the shelf back in a moment. I was playing around with putting that picture to look like it was resting on the bedside table, but I didn't really like that. But yeah, I did find it really quite difficult to sort of furnish this, because I liked the sort of the basic thing that I'd done, and then everything I sort of put on the walls I just sort of didn't really add anything to it. Putting a little clock on the wall in the kitchen, if I can get it to sit on the wall properly. There wasn't a huge amount of space there to put anything on the wall, so that was about the only thing that fitted that I thought was sort of kitchen-y. Adding a few little decorative items in the kitchen to make it look lived in. Again, having a bit of problem. I don't know if my game was glitching or what, but I had a lot of problems with placing things. They wouldn't rotate and they wouldn't sit in the spot I wanted them to. I was getting quite worn out by this point in the build. I'd been building for probably 2.5 hours, and my game was getting slower and slower and slower. But I like to, when I've started something, I like to get it all done in one go, so I didn't want to sort of save it and come back to it, but I think maybe I should have done. Sometimes when you look with fresh eyes, you sort of get new ideas. So just trying to finish off the living room now. Really, really like this light actually. It's quite a funky looking light. Messing about with putting blue on it, but I thought no, that is just too matchy. Stay away from the matchy. This was really a hard space to furnish as well, because it is so small and because of the shape, and it is essentially a walkway through to the kitchen, so it did limit sort of what I could put in here. Decided I had to put the television in the centre of that space. It does encroach a little bit on the dining table, but at least it's symmetrical. And just going and putting some lights in now. I think the boat looks really nice lit up at night actually. I like that a lot. Putting another light outside to light up the doorway. Again, trying to put some things on the wall, but struggling with what to use. Those circle windows definitely make it awkward for trying to put things on the wall. Just lighting up the hallway here. I quite like these little pictures, I think they're quite cute. But I had to colour them to match the room, of course. I'm just putting another little chair in. I was determined to put another chair in somewhere, and that corner was about the only place it fitted. And trying to look for a bookshelf that would fit in here somewhere. And all of these are a little bit too big, so I settle for this small one and colour it blue. Still desperately trying to put something on the walls. Decided I had to put a fish in somewhere, seeing it as it was a boat, so I stuck that on the wall near the bathroom. Thought this little wheelbarrow was quite cute as well, with the flowers in it, for a little bit of sort of decoration outside. I think you do need a few plants, as there is no garden, so you do need a little bit of greenery and some flowers. Realised I hadn't put the television on the wall, so corrected that. And trying to find something that would sit above this bookshelf, just so there is something else in the room. It's definitely quite a minimalist look to this boat. I do like these photos as well. Little cluster of photo frames. Just change the colour of those, of course, to make them match the rest of the scheme. Still can't find anything to go on top of here. Then thought, I can't put a coffee table in, but I can put a rug, so that does add a little bit to the room to make it look less barren. And then I'll recolour it yellow. I do really like the yellow, it's a lovely fresh colour. Just checking it from all angles there. Struggling to find a pattern for it that I liked. So I think I'll go back to that in a minute and change it a bit. So I'm moving on to this little space here where the stairs are. I thought it'd be really sort of a nice little art room. So I put an easel there so you could sort of look out of the window and paint your view on the easel. There wasn't a lot else I could put in that space, like everywhere else really on this boat. I do put a nice plant in a moment, which I think looks quite nice, sort of a big palm. I do quite like it, even though it's sort of a small, just like a hallway, I do quite like how that turned out. Just going around now and just checking I'm happy with everything and adding a few just little finishing touches on the outside. And we'll be coming into the screenshots in a moment. But yeah, overall I was really pleased with how this turned out, particularly as I was struggling so much towards the end. So here we are. I've got a picture of the outside with the walkway so you can see the location. And this is a view from above for the bedroom and the hallway and the balconies, and then the downstairs. Then a nice shot of the bedroom. I do like how the bedroom turned out, even though it is a bit sparse. There's a little art studio / hallway. Then a view of the kitchen and the living room. And then the view the other way so you can see where the bathroom is and the spiral stairs. And then the bathroom. And that's it. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye!